setting y'all up. Peace, peace, and love sent out to all of my family from all over the world. Peace and risings, grand rising. It's a beautiful new start for us. I have a beautiful topic. It's very, very deep and triggery for a few of us because we are experiencing this current energy within ourselves, just trying to break through. This is a direct message for my golden women, my black women. I don't want to make this message general, but if you feel that you are, another race and you're currently undergoing, overcoming something major in your life, dealing with this topic that we will be speaking on today, then feel free to take the message. This message is not, biased to women in general, but it is going to be directed towards my black women, like I said. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just drinking some chamomile tea. Cheers to you beautiful women out there. Peace and love over all of you. I send out nothing but divine holy energy over you, black woman. I love you dearly, and I am here for you, whether you know it or not, whether you feel it or not. I am here for you, and you are loved genuinely, from the bottom of my soul to the top of my head to the top of my crown. I love you, black woman. So let's go ahead and get into it. I need to put on some chapstick, y'all, because they done told us another hurricane coming and the wind dry. So I don't know, y'all. I gotta put on some chapstick. I don't have time for these people playing with the weather. Oh, goodness, source, give us the strength. Okay. All right, now let's get into it. So I want to speak about black women and our boundaries. That is just one of the many topics that we will discuss today, but boundaries and self-awareness. Let's start there. Before we set boundaries, we have to become self-aware. In today's society, we have to deal with a lot of energies as a black woman. We have to endure a lot as a black woman. Whether or not a man is there with us or for us, for this matter, we still have to wake up, get up, and go. We have to move forward without external help. This is bringing me to a certain point of my life where I decided, or where I had to recognize that it's really different being black in this society, especially nowadays. It's not any better than it was back then for us. Of course, us as black women, we always had a target over our heads. But in today, we have to basically, as a child, I had to realize that not many things were given to me. Not many things were gifted to me. I didn't necessarily receive what I deserved as a child. So it basically placed me in a complacent state where I felt the need to clutch or bond with other people via men. I had to bond with other men or boys to basically surpass or to gain stability, to know my worth, to recognize who I am. If he didn't tell me this, or if he didn't support me in this way, and I'm sure I'm speaking for a multitude of women here, if he didn't come and call me that night, or if we can even speak about dads, because that's really where it starts, our brotherhood. If they didn't support me, or if they didn't like something that I had on, or if I was like considered ugly that day, then I would instantly shut down within, and I would instantly fall victim to whatever it is that they were saying. I never really had the, like I said, I never was really given, and I'm sure, like I mentioned, a lot of women can agree with me here. We never really have that correct, we don't really receive the what we deserve for this matter. So, like I said, rather it be the bare minimum: respect, recognition, acknowledgement. These are just minor things that actually affect us on a major scale, especially as we mature and grow as a woman. I have a list here of certain things that, of course, a lot of things stem from the childhood, but it carries on to our adulthood, and it kind of alters the way that we feel, and the way that we think, and the way that we carry ourselves as women. A lot of black women, and now today, you can tell how we were traumatized and how we were misled as children, because women today, we have this lack mentality, not only of self, but of how we should be treated. Of course, we don't know ourselves, so we aren't necessarily taking the right steps and going in the right directions to better ourselves. So if we aren't aware of ourselves, we're basically accepting any behavior from anyone, and we don't have any boundaries, which is what that is. We don't have any self-awareness, self-acknowledgement. So the fact that we don't know ourselves within, we can't approach our own needs and basically meet our own needs. We go outside of ourselves for this form of codependency, which is what I said. If someone didn't tell me I looked good that day, or if someone didn't respect me in the way that I wanted to be respected, or if someone didn't listen to me, or if someone didn't acknowledge the way that I wanted to be heard that day, or on a minor scale when I was a child, if someone didn't compliment me, you know what I'm saying, I would automatically feel less of myself because I didn't have that inner knowing. It all starts within, and it all basically it stems from childhood. So we're going to go into childhood traumas, which carries then to boundaries, setting boundaries, having that self-awareness to the point where we can, know what we want, what we need versus what we want. So childhood traumas can go from abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, mental abuse, you know what I'm saying, neglect, abandonment. We all suffer from some form of abuse or trauma from our childhood. And whether or not they are addressed, that does not dictate where we should be in life. So just like I said, I had to come to a certain point in life where I had to acknowledge no one can save me. No one can help me out the way that I can be there for myself. No one can love me the way that I can love myself. No one can talk to me the way that I talk to myself. And I'm hearing myself. I'm feeling myself. And I never really understood why. Notice I said understood. I never understood why people don't really want to hear me, or why can't anyone understand me. Maybe it's not for them to understand, Black woman. Maybe it's not for them to come into unity with you and hold you up and support you and carry you and have your weight on their back. Maybe it's not about that. Maybe this is a self-healing journey. Maybe all that we went through from a child to now is not for another person to deal with. We have to come to a self-realization to the point where we know, okay, and we can accept. Everything is about acceptance. We can't codepend on another being, man or woman. Your mother won't be there for you. Your father won't be there for you. And whether they are physically or not, that is good. But they can't physically raise you for the rest of your life, and we have to accept that. I think it's wonderful if a father has treated his daughter with the utmost respect. He's acknowledged her, and he's put her on a pedestal, and basically loved her verbally, physically, mentally, emotionally, taught her what it was to be a woman and how she was how she was basically inferior to everything around her. She didn't have to lower herself or exploit herself to basically be seen, to be felt or heard. I think that is wonderful for a man to do that for his little girl, because that places her in a space of awareness at a young age. And everything starts from within. When you're a child, you are a sponge. You soak up more, you learn more, you learn easier. So when you are, gaining all of these different ideas about what it is to be a Black woman or a human being, a feminine energy, what it is or how it is to be that, you are not competing or trying to do your very best to gain attention from something outside of you, whether that be a man or a woman. I'm not going to say that I personally had that. This is just me. Like I said, we will be getting very deep with this conversation. Personally, I grew up with 6 boys in my house. I have 6 brothers and I'm the only girl. So I never really had it easy. I never really had a soft, gentle approach when it comes to men. I always felt neglected or abandoned or hurt, unheard, mistreated, roughed up. Obviously because they were boys, but that had nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't blame anybody. Now this is where we come to that victim mentality. We can't blame or hold on, because we have to accept, like I said, we can't hold on to what was. That's just something that had to happen, or that's just something that happened. You feel me? Now what are we gonna do? Are we gonna carry around this same let's just say lack mentality of what needs to be done, or how I should be treated, or how they didn't treat me, so this is how I'm gonna treat everyone else? You know what I'm saying? We can't pass on the karma. We can't we can't keep, like, I guess I can say, you know how they say hurt people hurt people? We can't carry that on. You know what I'm saying? We have to break the cycle, and it's up to you, Black woman. And everyone around you, believe it or not, needs you. They need a woman to support them. They need a strong, fierce energy, a feminine energy. Everything is about dual. Everything is that duality. So with every man comes a strong woman. With every successful man comes a strong, supportive woman. So if we are continuously, for some, if we are continuously holding on to this victim state of being, this victim mentality, oh, I was hurt, so I don't want to care for anybody else, how are we ever going to grow, not only externally, but internally? Because you're holding on to something that already happened. So anyways, that brings me back to my point. The dads, even my father, I would get put down by my father. I would get compared by other family members, by my father. I didn't have sisters, so I got compared to my cousins. You know what I'm saying? So this was something that I had to take in. I, as a child, had to know, whether I wanted to face it or not. This is how I see you, coming from someone else. So this is how I see you. This is how you're looked at. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I accept you wholeheartedly as my child, as my only daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not holding that over his head. You see, now this is where I come with my own self-acknowledgement and my own self-awareness. I'm not holding that over his head. I'm not hating him. A lot of people hate one another because they can't let go or accept what happened. I don't hate him. That was his self-awareness. That was where he growed. His mother, you feel me, and his childhood, and how he was taught. My dad was raised with, I believe, 6 other women, and he was the only, or it was another child, another boy. So there was like 2 boys and like 6 women. You feel me? I'm not upset at anyone. I'm not blaming anyone either for the way that I was treated. But it is my duty to pick up the pieces and put it together, Black woman. So childhood traumas happen to us all. Some of us were physically abused, physically misused. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into that. But I understand from a deeper self-awareness, a deeper perspective, that things happen, fucked up things happen, but it is up to us as women, as the gods of humanity. You are the very first existence. You are the creation. You are the creator. Look up mitochondria Eve gene, black woman. That is you. You can create, you are the prokaryotic cell. You can create any other race within you. You obtain every race within your DNA. You are the creator. You are God. God is woman. The black woman. Every person has a navel. They come from a woman. You are the original. Are you aware of I want to say, what is it called? Being asexual. We were once able to create without a man. We were once able to be pregnant without a man, become pregnant. So tell me, who's the original, who's needed, who's important here? I understand everyone else is wrong, or everyone else does it this way, or everyone else thinks that way and they live that way. What about you? This is about you, black woman, and your children. Remember? And this is also not me saying forget the man. We love our men. I love men. Men. We will get into the difference between boys and men later. But I love my men. I will always love my men. I will never in my life, you would never hear me say, I don't need a man. We need men in our life, not boys. Because we are handlers. We are the producers. And we should be held. We should be held, and we should know how to be caressed. And we should know how to be felt. Or they should know how to feel us as a man. We are a support system. We hold one another up. We support one another. We are intimate. We are sapiosexual. We should intellectually intertwine before we become, platonic or carnal. Before we start to mix DNA down there, let's mix energetic DNA up here. Okay, boundaries. So boundaries is one that us as women, we kind of lack a lot, because we feel the need to people please. And if we people please, then we'll have someone with us. That is a sign of trauma. That is a signal of trauma. When you feel the need to always, like when you see people, this is just on a minor scale. When you see people get out of one relationship and hop into another one and then hop into the next one, or a man who's always cheating, he can't keep his pants, closed, because these are signs of trauma. They're trauma bonding. They're seeking external support or external fulfillment when it's all from within. There is no other. Every love outside of you is poor versus your self-love. Self-love is the best love. And they didn't say that just to say that. They don't say love yourself for no reason. If you don't love yourself, there's no way you love anyone else. And that is one of the rules I know now. If you cannot love you, I know you don't love me. I know you don't love me, because the way that I'm coming, the way that I'm putting this love on you, there is no way you can take it. I've loved someone so hard they didn't think that I loved them. That's how forceful our energy is. Because they didn't love themselves. Because they couldn't see themselves the way that I saw them. They always, when people continuously become insecure about you and what you're doing and how you feel, you know what I'm saying? You always constantly have to reassure with the way that you love, or how you love them, or how much you love them. These people are insecure. They cannot see what you are seeing. And that's for you to remove yourself. Set boundaries. You don't have to sit around and prove or baby feed or breastfeed a grown man. What's the lady name? I don't even know her name, but she said you can't raise a man. You can't raise a big boy. That's really what it is. A man is a man. You can't raise a big kid. He's already grown. What you gonna do? People are growing taller, not wiser. There's no way you can go in and reconstruct his wires. He has to go do it. Just like no one can go in and physically or sexually satisfy you to take away the pain of yesterday, or to take away the trauma of your child, or of your childhood. No one can have sex with you enough to get that out of your head. You have to. Same with men. You can't bust enough nuts to feel that fulfillment of what you are missing or lacking within. This is why people don't look at one another in the face anymore. People can't have an intimate conversation. Intimacy is not just physically. It's verbally. It's mentally. It's an emotional intertwined. It's like on an energetic level. Intimacy is deeper than physicality. The reason, intimacy is into me you see. If you cannot physically look me in my eyes, if you cannot talk to me, this is why some people struggle with communication, because they aren't being honest. If you cannot have a conversation with me, then I know we are not going anywhere. We have to set boundaries. If it is taking away from the way that you feel, if it takes away from your morals, if you have to change yourself, Black woman, if you have to alter the way that you do things to make you happy, to keep you happy, you have to change that, then you need to change whoever that is around you. There's so many more people out there, I'm telling you. We have a certain idea that we have to stick with them, or stick with it, or deal with it. We don't have to tolerate any fucking thing that we don't want. This is why you are an alpha female and you can't keep a lot of men around you. And a lot of men run and scatter because they cannot support you, Black woman. They mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally cannot obtain that capacity. You are a capacity. You are on a certain level. People just will not vibrate with you, Black woman. And this is why you've always had that question. Why are men so intimidated by me? Why are men so afraid of me at times? Why can't men look at me? Why can't they communicate with me? Fuck understanding me. Talk to me. Open up to me. I'm wide open with you, but they just can't. It's not the way that you say it. It's not the way that you look. It's the frequency that you carry, Black woman. You are too much for certain people. Certain boys, this is where we go into the boys, because we do have alpha males. But certain boys, they won't be able to comprehend your lingo, because you are just speaking Spanish when it comes to what the fuck they are trying to understand. When it comes to what you're trying to say. You are speaking Spanish. And it's not like these people really don't know what you're saying. They just don't know how to go about it. They don't know how to love you, Black woman. They don't know how to be intimate. This is why when they say, I want to fuck, they literally do. They literally do. And I've removed my ego. This is not ego talking. This is just higher consciousness, higher self-awareness, woman to woman. When they say I want to fuck, these people, when they're putting all this energy in and they're just forcing it and they're just going too fast with you, Black woman, I know how it is. These people don't know what they're doing with themselves, so they damn sure can't handle you. Everything is about a nut. Everything is about ego and self-pleasure and It's like a selfishness within them. They want to just take, and then you turn around and you're giving everything you got. Boundaries. Intimacy versus fucking. There's a big difference. If you cannot caress me mentally, intellectually, you ain't touching me anywhere else. You can't touch me. You got to turn my mind on first. I got to be mentally attracted to you first, spiritually. I want to see how you move. And I look at the minor things. Do you litter? I look at the minor things. Do you disrespect the homeless? Do you mistreat animals? Do you love your mother? Do you hug your mother? Do you care about other people? Do you allow me to finish my sentence before you jump in? Do you respect me? Do you acknowledge me? Are you willing to open up and communicate? Set boundaries. Look for the little things first instead of expecting him to what? Hold the door? I can hold the door for myself. I can buy myself food. We looking at the wrong things, black woman. We focusing on the wrong things. Who he talked to, who he used to deal with. That ain't got nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Because I would hate for a man to judge me by who I dealt with. Trust me, I've been there. That has nothing to do with where we are today. We met where we needed to meet. We are on the same timeline for a reason. Now, are you going to stay with me and rise, or are you going to hinder me and fall? I don't fall in love. I rise in love. So, black woman, when it comes to boundaries and who we are as a goddess, you are a goddess. You are a god. Know that. When you become self-aware and you begin to love yourself and date yourself and pleasure yourself, do what you want, date yourself, take yourself out, spoil yourself, stop waiting on a man to come and pamper you. For some women, don't wait on a man to come pamper you, to come take you out on a date, to come rub your feet down. I just rubbed my back yesterday with some oil and I feel good. I woke up feeling great. It's not always about them or other people or what someone can do for you to make you feel better than you did yesterday. Maybe it's time for us to step up to the plate, mirror ourselves, date ourselves for a while. Get to know yourself. Fall in love with yourself again. And it's not always about external pleasure, materialistic pleasure. You don't always have to buy yourself something or go to a certain place or, do something to feel good about yourself. Talk to yourself. Hug yourself. Rub your own feet. Look in the mirror for a few moments. Kiss yourself. Caress yourself. You can date yourself. They gave you this psychological idea that it's bad to talk to yourself. They put it in your minds or in our minds that it's crazy of you to speak to yourself. Who are you talking to? Myself. I don't want to talk to y'all. Y'all ain't talking about what I want to talk about. Y'all ain't understanding me the way that I'm understanding me. Y'all ain't feeling me the way that I want to be felt. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm here for me. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm capable. So I'm gonna do it. I'm stepping up to my own plate. And when you begin to think like that, black woman, then you begin to step into your own self-awareness and you begin to love yourself and see yourself from a whole different perspective. Now you're unstoppable. Now you're untouchable. Now people can't fuck with you the way that they used to. Now you know what you want. Now you know what you're looking for. So when you begin to create a self-awareness and have a higher self, like you begin to have boundaries around yourself. You begin to place these boundaries, like I know what I like versus what I do not like. What I will tolerate versus what I will never tolerate. If you cannot respect, first of all, if you don't love yourself, that's rule number 1 for me. If you don't love yourself, if you can't love yourself because I'm loving myself, I can do it. So that means I'm going to be pouring into your cup too much. I'm going to be doing too much just to get you to see or to get you to feel what love feels like. When we should be caressing one another's energy. We should be meeting each other halfway. It shouldn't be 80-20. I shouldn't have to do all the work and you provide materialistically. No, baby, I need you here spiritually. I need you here mentally with me. I need you here verbally. I need you here energetically. A lot of people sit next to their man right now wondering where he at. Sitting right next to him wondering where he at. Get up and call back into your power, Black woman. And command your own self-respect and dignity. You have the power. You have the authority, whether you know it or not. All it takes is a little bit of solitude, Black woman, and a little bit of self-persistence. Get ready. It's not easy, but know what you want. We cannot have this blame game going on for too much longer. And the little girls gonna have to be with the little boys. We gonna have to leave them all behind. But a man is what you need. You is what you need. You is what you need. Love yourself first, and everything else aligns after. I think that's all I have, y'all. Peace and love. I hope this message gets to you when it's meant. I love you dearly. Peace to you, God. I love you, woman. And if no one else told you, you are worth it. You are beautiful. And no matter what, you are resilient. You can do it. You can do it. And you will do it. You do not need anything outside of you to help you. Not this time. We are in the age of Aquarius. The age of awakening. We are in a 5th dimension. The energy is risen. We can no longer be codependent and waiting for someone to help us out, to help us up. Either get right or get left. And this is me to you, not you to them. Me to you. You have to get up. You have to know. You have to come to this self-awareness and acknowledgement within that I am capable, no matter who's by my side. The Black woman, one thing a Black woman know how to do is make it. So we have to stand. We have to come together and stop competing with one another. Because if we knew ourselves the way that we claim we do, if we loved ourselves the way that we claim we do, we wouldn't compete the way that we do. We wouldn't hate on one another the way that we do. We wouldn't fight one another the way that we are so quick to fight. It's so much hatred externally because there's so much internally. The reason everything seems to be so cruel is because everyone is so cruel. As within, as without, as above, so below. What you are seeing is who you are. So if all you're seeing is a bunch of neglect and people just abandoning you and just mistreating you and ignoring you and not respecting you and not loving you properly and not being there for you the way that you want to be taken care of or the way that you want to be met, it's because you're mistreating yourself. Everything starts with you first. How you treat yourself is what you are going to receive. People know exactly how you treat yourself. People know exactly how to treat you. What you allow is what you get. Do not expect you neglecting yourself for another person. Don't think that you're going to get more out of them. Women break their back for men every day and think that, oh, if I stay, he's going to care one day. He's going to change. Maybe one day he'll realize I'm the one. He already know who you are. He know what you're going to do for him. What are you going to do for yourself? This is why men look at you like you got 6 heads when you say I'm moving on. Oh, You ready for better? Literally, I am. Stand up. You're not weak. You're not weak. You're the creator. How in the freak are you weak? Where in your bones are you weak? Where are you incapable? You are Superwoman and Superman. If we can just acknowledge who we are within, the beauty within, it's all in your eyes. They say that the beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, your soul, who you are. Who you are. Not what you're wearing. Not how you look. Not what you got. Who you are. Respect yourself to gain respect. Treat you how you want to be treated. It's all within. Everything starts within. If you want something bad enough, get it. Have it. The moment you look within is the moment you will start to attract everything outside of you that you've always wanted, but you've been questioning, why is it so scattered and so far to reach? Why can't I have a man who cares about me and loves me? Love yourself first. Maybe that's what the universe is trying to tell you. You're lacking self-love. Why is men always, why can't they communicate with me? You're not communicating with yourself enough. As within, as without. Why do relationships always fail after I let him have sex with me? Close your legs. Open your mind. It's all a mirroring game. This is why I said mirror yourself. Date yourself. Because the moment you look in that mirror, you might cry. Because you've been running from something for so long, Black woman, that now you can finally see what it was. And like I said, buckle up. This is not an easy joy ride. Self-healing is not an easy ride. You're tapping into the unknown, into the shadow, your shadow side. Get ready to expose yourself and be vulnerable with yourself and tap into that other side, outside of the physical, of what you put on for everyone else. Now you're about to see the onion effect, where you peel each layer and do a diagnostic on everything that you've ever been through. Now you have to feel through it. In order to heal, you have to feel. And a lot of us are struggling because we are seeking outside external pleasure, a feeling, a temporary pleasure to satisfy our needs. The way that you feel cannot be healed by someone else. In order to heal, you have to feel it. Accept what happened. Accept what you've been through. Accept how they treated you. Now know what you will not tolerate. I've been fucked over too. But I'm not going to let my next man, who's going to be my man, because I know I'm done with boys. I know I'm done with boys. You got to meet me intellectually first. You got to pass a couple tests in the divine. You got to meet a couple criterias within first. You got to love yourself. You got to know yourself. That's the number one rule. Know yourself. If you don't know thyself, you damn sure ain't knowing me. You damn sure can't figure me out. This is why a lot of people scatter. Because they know that you will command that from them. They want a weak woman. They want someone they can who will just spread their legs. I'm telling you what I know. They want someone who's just going to lay down and give it to them. They don't want to have to take it. Men want it easy. Because they're simple. Whoever that boy is, they are simple. Simple-minded. No goals. They don't want a real woman. They want a real girl. And you know who you are. There's alpha men out there. We are not speaking to you, alpha man. Thank you. Thank you for being who you are, which is who you are. And I appreciate that. We all do. But you can't be bruised and broken, Black woman, and expect for him to come in and save the day. He is not your hero. You are. This is why you keep attracting those, because you are not where you need be. Look in the mirror, Black woman, and love yourself. Stop seeking external love, because it will never be. You will continuously play out those karmic cycles. I hate to break it to you, but that's why it keeps happening that way. That's why people keep treating you the way that they're treating you. Not that you deserve it, but you're neglecting yourself. So you're telling yourself that that's what you deserve. You're telling the universe communicates through energy. So if you're energetically communicating that, the universe can't hear what you're saying. Everything is an energy, a frequency. Everything around you is matter, energy. So if you're communicating that to the universe, I'm treating myself this way, the universe is not going to do anything but reciprocate. As above, so below. So if you're telling yourself that in a spiritual form, I don't deserve this or I don't want that, but you're thinking you want that, there's no way you want that, because you're not putting in the action. You're not putting in the action. Talk is cheap. It's not an easy ride, especially once you start to love yourself, because you will have a lot of people disappear as soon as y'all meet, because they know what your energy is saying. I mean business over here. And baby, we not playing games. One thing I'm not finna do is open my legs for no stranger. You got a long way to go. You got a long way to go. A lot of women are just as horny as men. It's not just the man who just wants to have sex. A lot of women just want sex. A lot of women are okay with being the side or with being just a fuck buddy. Those girls and those boys will be with them. If you want more, if you want better, if you want to go somewhere in life and be and last, those people are insane. That's why they keep fucking everybody. That's why they keep doing that, because they can't sit within. If you want to get out, you have to go within. In order to be out, you have to be in. Everything is mirroring you. Love yourself. Start with yourself. You have to cut off a lot of distractions. You have to. This is a narrow path, a narrow journey. Not everyone can come with you, and you'll realize that. You will realize that. Live in the moment. Celebrate today. Don't wait for someone to come and rescue you, because you will wait. What you're waiting for, you will wait. But if you enjoy it now and you embrace that now and you live it out now, everything will flow in naturally, fluently. I'm still learning that myself. I'm not perfect. I'm still healing myself. But it all starts with acknowledge. If you can acknowledge it and accept it, you got somewhere to be. Because no one can come in and tell you that's not what you want, because you already acknowledged it. You already done accepted it. You agreed. I want better for myself. I know that ain't what it is. I know that these little quickies, and I keep bringing up carnal, because that seems to be the most codependent thing for us. Sex. That's like the quickest pleasure. Just easy come, easy go. I don't want to have sex. You'll have to screw my mind first. Then we can talk about something else later. If you're talking about sex within the first day or week, thank you for exposing who you truly are. Goodbye. People will naturally fall off, though. If you can't see it quick enough, especially if you've been taking care of yourself, the universe sees that. That's why a lot of people are leaving, are fleeing, because they can't hold you. They're like, whoa, she's way too heavy, man. She ain't like them. And that tells me why a lot of our men, Black women, dates white women, because white women aren't as sophisticated as we are. And this is just me being real. They aren't mentally capable of what we are mentally capable of. A lot of white women, and I'm not speaking for all, but a lot of white women are spiritually dead. They're spiritually weak. So, as above, so below. If you are spiritually weak, you really have no connection to your ancestry, you really have no soul, then there's no work to be done in the physical. The men really don't have to do much to get in. This is why they usually relapse to the white women after a black woman. I had an ex, couple exes, but this specific ex, he said, I never dated black women because they were too much. Well, thank you. You will not easy come, easy go me. You will not have your way with me. I am not your doll. I am not your play toy. I am not your boy toy. I'm not your busted wide open. Okay? You gonna work for this. If someone ever tells you too much, clap. You've done it. Now keep going, because that alpha male is somewhere waiting for a alpha woman. Do not settle. It's not worth it. A lot of people are wondering why they're so miserable in their current relationship, because that was a lesson, not a lifestyle. Stop settling, feeling that is all you can do. That is all you got. No. I don't care if the car you in right now, you think that is all you can do, that's all you got. No, babe. You can get a car tomorrow. God's will. Start to walk by faith, not by sight. And men too. We're going to get into that in a whole nother video. Men need to stop looking at the physicality of women and start going internally with her. Men are, okay, I'm not going to blame it on men and say men are damaged or the most damaged, but men can be pretty damaged. This is why everything is about who got the fattest ass and the best pussy and the cutest face, or everything is physical. Because any man who looks at a woman physically can't do anything for her internally. And I read that. I literally read that yesterday. And that is so real. You cannot please me spiritually, mentally. That's first, for me at least. I don't care about how you rock the boat. That's not important to me at all. I don't have a high sex drive because I'm so intellectual. Anybody who uses their logic, who's a left side brain thinker, not a right side, not emotional, but left logical and reasoning and awareness, consciousness, you don't care for all of this physical shit. You don't care to have, your legs open all day. You want your mind, you want your mouth open all day. When men say you talk too much, good. I'd rather talk than ride. And that's how they want you. They want you, where they can handle you. You can't be handled. I'm not saying you won't submit. There's a difference. There's a balance to everything. But I can't work with you if you trying to work me. I cannot work with you if you're trying to work me. I don't want to hold you guys for too much longer, but that's all I got. Peace and love. We can talk about this all day, but I'll be back with the men. I'll be back for the men. And I'm not a man. I can't really go into too much detail, but from my perspective and the way that I've been seeing it, raised by men, we will go in, baby, as much as we can. But anywho, I love you guys so much. Thank you for your attention. And like I said, I love you so much. Protect yourself at all times. Love yourself first and acknowledge who you are. Know thyself. And everything else you thinking about comes. You first. You are first. No other love outside of you matters if you don't love yourself. And I mean that. I love you. Peace and power. Thank you, God.